Hi, welcome to monstarottable. My name is Monica, and we're going to start with the general portion. So let's see what is coming in for Pisces for the rest of the month of May. What's coming in for Pisces for the rest of the month of May? So what's coming in for you? And this looks like it could be love related, but we'll see. So what I'm seeing is you might be dealing with an air sign, or this might be your energy. Someone who's very kind of cold, detached, very logical, very analytical, someone rational who feels a strong connection with you, with the lovers. There might be a choice that this person has to make. Could be between you and someone else. And it looks like there previously might have not been much communication between you two. They could have had you blocked, or you might have blocked them. And whatever the choice was about, it looks like this person is releasing something that they were holding on to before. And with the Ace of Cups, it looks like this person wants to offer you a new beginning. They definitely have emotions for you. Look at that, we get 2 aces. So not only that it's something emotional, that this person has feelings for you that they might be expressing to you, but they also want something stable, something serious. So this isn't your regular, kind of in and out situation. This is something who wants something committed. And with the 10 of Pentacles, that's just a confirmation. They see you as the kind of person that they could have it all with, the family, the children, getting married. That's what the 10 of Pentacles represents, is the long-term stability, family, kind of legacy. That's what this person sees with you. Wow, okay. For the general read, that's a pretty good start. So let's have a look a bit more in depth. What is this about? You might be dealing with a Gemini, or it could be an earth sign, potentially water. The strongest one I see is someone with air and earth. So if this person has been dealing with someone else, they came to a realization that whatever the situation they have been in hasn't been working. Maybe they just see how incompatible they are with this person. Whatever it is, there might be conflict. There was just a lot of disagreements, ego clash, difference of opinions. But with the 3 of Pentacles reversed, there just wasn't really much progress happening. And what I'm getting is that whatever wasn't working with this person, they see that with you, that, you have a strong connection. You are very kind of on the same page, and they see that whatever they couldn't, get with this person, they see that they could have all this with you. So let's see what the Lovers is about. Justice. So that tells you that things are going to go in your favor. It could have to do with, if this person is married or was married, they could be going through a divorce. There might be some legalities, or, the kind of, if they were connected with someone, they might be sharing, assets, whether it's children, anything like that. They're going through the choice that they made. It just takes some time to get through all of this to release it. But what it's telling me is things are going well for you. And look, here's another confirmation. The Wheel of Fortune. So that's good luck. Things are changing. It's good karma. If you believe in fate, that could be it. But basically, this is something that's meant to happen. And if it's someone you already know, someone you might have been connected to before, they might have previously, whatever happened, maybe chose someone else, but now they're seeing that that situation just wasn't working. If they thought they found someone better than you, then they're realizing it's been so much worse and they made a mistake. So now they're letting go of that and they want to offer you a new beginning. Yeah, they want the equal give and take. So, the other situation might have been very one-sided, where they maybe just felt like they were overgiving, maybe not getting as much as they were putting into that relationship. They might have felt taken for granted. Whereas with you, they feel like there's a lot more, shared emotion, shared effort. Now, I would say if you're connecting with someone who's with someone else, then hopefully you're not giving into it too much, or at all, because that's not good karma. But they do see you as very kind and generous and very giving, and they see you as someone who, would give them the same back as they would put into the relationship. Yeah, so again, whatever the situation they were in just wasn't making them happy. What I'm seeing is there could be children involved as well. So that might have been something that's taken a bit more work, legalities, again, especially if it's someone who's been married. But it looks like this person is taking the steps to release themselves from that situation, because they want to come towards you and offer you the new beginning and their love. Because this person wants a long-term stability, and they're realizing that, staying in a situation that isn't getting to the next level, that isn't, leading to that, it's just a waste of time. So that's what's pushing them to release themselves from it. And I think what's triggered them as well was the really strong connection they feel with you. Yeah, it looks like previously when this person was, trying to work on whatever that situation was, they were kind of stressed. There was a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of anxiety, a lot of worries. But now they're kind of seeing the way out of this, and whatever you have triggered within them could have been a bit of, an awakening, or something that's led them to realize, there's no point wasting time in something that isn't going to get me to what I want, which is the Ten of Pentacles. When there is someone that I could have that with, and the longer I stay in the situation that doesn't make me happy, the further I am from getting what I want. So now they're getting more optimistic, and it's what's triggering them to take the action. So that's great. We're gonna pull out some oracle cards to see, and then we're gonna get some clues as to who this could be. So let's have a look. If it's not someone that's coming towards you, it could also be you being in that position. You know, maybe you're in a relationship that doesn't feel good. It could be, you know, you might have been connected with someone being in a situation that no longer makes you happy, and maybe you're seeing a way out. The choice might not be someone else. It could just be the choice between, you know, do I stay in a situation that doesn't make me happy, or do I get myself single? You know, do I free myself from this? Would I be happier alone? So that might be you taking these steps, but take that as it resonates. So let's see what's coming in for Pisces for the rest of May. Cycles. Something's ending, something's beginning. That's fate and karma. So yeah, if it's you, you could have been going through the same repeating cycles with someone, and now you're finally seeing the truth. You're seeing it for what it is, and you're choosing to free yourself from that. Or this could be someone that's, you know, if it's someone from your past, for example, or someone that you've been connecting with that, you know, might have been going through the same cycles, and now they're realizing, you know what, I don't want to go through the same thing again. Something needs to change. So they're releasing whatever that situation is so they can start a whole new cycle with you. But something needs to end before something else can begin. And let go. Make room for the new beginning on its way to you now. So again, that just confirms that in order to start something new, to have that new beginning, you need to let the old go first. Now, this could be you moving on from something that you might have already gone through some kind of ending, and you need to release that emotionally. You know, you need to go through the healing and let it go, not dwell on the past in order to move on and open yourself to something new. You or someone else, someone you're connecting with, could have a pet. You could be getting a new pet, or, you know, taking more care giving your pet more care. So yeah, that could be just an extra confirmation. All right, now let's have a look at the person on your mind and what your current love situation is. And this is where we're going to get more clues about what's happening. So what's your current love situation? What's on your mind? So who's on? So we've got reflection, dark night of the soul, dark shadow, facing inner truth, seeing true colors. So again, this is what I was saying. Someone's finally realizing the truth of the situation. If it's something that has already ended, whether it's you or this person is going through the dark night of the soul. So most likely right now there might be withdrawn, kind of self-reflecting, introspecting, and doing the healing before they can come out and have a new beginning with you, or if that's you, you could be going through that healing before you come out and open yourself to a new love. So that's great. And then we've got ego, arrogance, having too much pride, being stubborn and holding back. So again, this could be someone who might have been too much in their ego. If it's if it's a person that you've already know, someone from your past, they might have previously hid behind their ego. There was a lot of things that they weren't saying, being too stubborn or holding back their emotions. And what I'm getting with the reflection is this person is now seeing how this affected your situation, your relationship, and they're working on healing things. I mean, we use ego as a kind of protection, right? It is the wall that we put up to hide behind. And as much as ego can be useful to protect ourselves, sometimes we overdo it. And sometimes it just leads to self-sabotage. So what I'm getting, this person is understanding that they were too much in their ego and now they're working on releasing that. On the bottom of the deck, it also says drama, creating problems, thirsty for attention, overreacting, drama queen. So again, this could have been something that, previously there was too much drama. Now this person just wants peace. They want to, have something that's peaceful, something very calm. If that was them, they're working on healing that as well, to not create drama where there's no need for it. Again, sometimes this is just self-sabotage. So this is what this person is currently doing. So let's have a look what the tarot says. So who's currently on your mind? What is your current love situation? Who's on Pisces' mind right now? Yeah, so this person was previously putting up the walls. They were very could have had strong boundaries, but what I'm getting is this person was just very keeping you at a distance. They wouldn't let you get too close. They wouldn't, let you see too much of themselves. Again, that's to protect themselves because of past hurt and past disappointments. So, what's the current situation? So yeah, it looks like someone from your past that you already know. Someone you either might have already been in a relationship with, or there was at least the kind of potential of it, talk about it, even if it never got to that point. This person might have been a bit of a player with the Seven of Cups reversed. Looks like they might have had other options or keeping their options open. But it looks like now they see you as the one that they want. So what I'm seeing is this person, again, as I said, they could have been hurt in the past and they were very careful, very in their ego because they didn't want to let anyone hurt them the way they have been hurt in the past, which led them to sabotage this relationship or this situation. So they kept you at arm's length, they had their walls up high and they just wouldn't let you past it, which could have gotten really tiring. And I can see that, they might have been times when either yourself or them maybe tried to kind of walk away. You might have tried to detach, but you were just unable to forget about them, or that might have been them. They never were able to move on from you fully. If there were times where maybe you would stop talking, sooner or later, you would always reconnect. And with those cycles that came out before, I'm thinking as many times as you would connect, then disconnect, reconnect again, it would always go in the same way, always repeating cycles. If this person acted like a player, or they weren't choosing you, treating you like an option, they definitely don't have these options anymore. They see you as the person that they want. This person got clarity, and now they're seeing through the illusions that all that they thought, all the shiny, wasn't what they thought they saw, and now they're realizing you were that option, not option. You were it for them all along, and they just didn't see it before. I can see that there was a lot of kind of stress, regret, guilt as well. And now they're kind of getting in a better place where I think they're feeling more positive because they're realizing what they've done wrong, what caused the issues, and for things to not work out. And then working on it with the dark night of the soul, they're feeling a bit more positive, thinking, if I work on myself and I show Pisces that, I've changed and I've healed and I'm not the same person that I used to be, that maybe I have a chance. So with the judgment, they're making the judgment, they're having a realization that they need to take action. So it's the call to action. You have to make a decision and take the steps. So that's what I'm seeing, where they previously might have rejected you or friend zoned you or just kind of not offered you their feelings. They might have not told you how they really felt. And now they can no longer ignore those feelings anymore because it's screaming at them so much that with the judgment, again, they're just realizing, I need to really do this. If I want a fresh start and I want to have this new beginning with Pisces, I need to take action. So that's looking pretty good, but let's see. Let's clarify. It's the 9 of Wands. Yeah, it looks like before, when, they were so closed off, could have been avoidant, maybe had a really hard time expressing their emotions, expressing their feelings. It just wasn't the right time to start this. But maybe you met for a reason back then, so that over time, seeing that this connection just isn't going anywhere is what's triggered them to that realization that, yes, it never got to that point, but here I am still thinking about Pisces. This can be just nothing. It's not just something that will just go away. So in order to do something about it, I need to take action. Yeah, they felt very kind of, what I feel like And this is what the person would never tell you, at least not back then. I don't know if they would tell you now. Maybe being more open and honest is that this person didn't feel good enough for you. They might have seen you as someone who's out of their league. I don't like this saying, but it is, what if the person feels that way, it's what might have led to the self-sabotage. Maybe they just thought, Pisces wouldn't really like me, or what if they reject me? So they ended up pretending to be someone else, wearing a mask, that ego, and ultimately it didn't exactly have the effect that they wanted it to have. But now they're realizing that, that they need to step into the power and have the confidence that they were missing before. Could be someone who has some father issues, which could also be part of the reason. What's the Seven of Cups reversed? Yeah, the Hanged Man. So this person might have felt trapped in the situation. There might have been delays. Now they're taking the pause, the time to reflect, and, not doing anything. There might have been no communication that's caused them to realize, I really miss Pisces. I mean, they say distance makes the heart grow fonder. And that also means, not distance just in terms of space, but also time and communication. If it's quiet and they don't hear from you, that's what might have triggered that, when they don't hear from you and they realize, I really miss talking to Pisces. So let's see. Yeah, they're really regretting the fact that they never offered you anything. They're regretting not telling you that they actually wanted something real. Like I said, if this person acted like a player, they might have told you, I don't know what I want right now, or I don't really want a relationship. Playing it kind of cool, maybe acting too aloof. But the truth is they did want it. They were just too afraid to admit it, or to tell you and admit that to you. And now they're regretting not telling you the truth and not offering you that, because they realize that they could have had the stability, something serious with you. Yeah, so now the Judgment with the Two of Wands clarified is there was a lot of planning, decisions, and now they've made the decision. Now they're making the plan of what they're going to do. So, and this is a major arcana, so that's something that they're being called to do. Now, whether this person takes the call or not, that is another question. But we'll see. We'll have a look to see what action is this person going to take towards you. Let's have a look. What actions is this person going to take towards you for the rest of the month of May? What actions is this person going to take in the month of May? Justice. So again, this person might come with an apology, telling you that I wasn't fair before, I wasn't being honest, but you're going to get the truth, the clarity, and it's going to be fair. The Empress reversed. It says that this person, what they before maybe didn't see that things could really go anywhere, but now they're seeing it. although they're worried that they might have hurt you so much that you won't want them anymore. You know, they're worried that when they come with the offer, you might be too cold and you're gonna be too cold and detached and be like, well, you had your chance, you missed it, too bad. Which could happen, you know, it's totally up to you. But they want to heal things, they want to overcome the challenges that you had. They want to work on that, they want to compromise and have a peaceful resolution. They want to get to a better place. And again, they want to offer you their love. Anything else? Yeah, they felt like there might have been too much tension before, or, you know, there is some kind of tension, but what I'm getting, they're kind of taking the moment to themselves to get themselves in that better place mentally so they feel confident before they come towards you. You know, they could at first come with a bit kind of small communication. It could just be, you know, trying to make peace and start as friends. But what I'm getting is they could, you know, they want to work slowly their way towards you just so that you feel comfortable to open up, see how you are, and then hopefully get things to a better place. So who's this person on your mind? We've got a thunderstorm. We've got dice. We've got rings, spilled milk, and baggage. So this could be an earth sign that you're dealing with. So with the thunderstorm, I'm getting it's someone who you might have previously had conflict with, but there is an opportunity to overcome this. What I'm also getting is the connection between you might have felt electric. It could be, you know, something that's really powerful, like you can really feel it, that it's different and unlike anything else that you felt, which might have been the reason why it's been so hard to move on from that, even though things never really got to the point, you know, or got to any kind of relationship or to the place that you want it to. It could also be a warning of some kind of big change happening, because this makes me think of the Tower, which is a sudden change. The dice, which is taking a risk, which could be a lucky risk, makes me think that with the thunderstorm, it might be something unexpected, that this person is going to take an unexpected risk. You know, they might be risking rejection, but they decide, you know, screw it, I'm going to try anyways. You know, I'd rather try and know than, you know, keep wondering forever. So there is a potential there. With the rings, again, this is a strong bond, strong connection. This is like the Lover's card kind of thing. Again, it's a Gemini card. You could also be dealing with Scorpio or Sagittarius or Pisces. And this is, again, a strong bond that you have with someone where you have a lot in common. There's a big potential for something, you know. You could feel like it's your soulmate. You might feel kind of like a telepathic connection even. That could be for some of you. You might be seeing the number 222 a lot, or 555 I'm seeing, or 2255. 5 could be significant, or the number 2. So you could be a February Pisces, or the 2nd or the 5th could be your date of birth. With the spilled milk is, again, this is kind of regretting how things have happened in the past, you know, things that cannot be changed, being disappointed over how things happened before and wanting to change that. So taking that risk, because, you know, you can change what's happened in the past, but what you can do is, you know, do things differently now. And I think this is what the person wants to do. And with the baggage, what I'm getting, there's been some unresolved issues that, you know, they need to heal first. So this is with the dark night of the soul, is where they're looking at these things. This is what's caused the regrets and the mistakes, the things not going well before, and now they're working on that so they can take the risk again, hoping for a better outcome. It could also mean that this person is preparing to travel towards you if they live at a distance, or, you know, just come visit you, or you might be, you know, traveling together. Or for some of you, this might not be for everybody, maybe just for a few people. Something, if this is someone that you've dealt with before, something might have happened while you were traveling, or you met while traveling, and there was either some kind of accident or something that somebody regretted since that happened while traveling or on holiday. But again, this is just for a few of you. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to have a look at some messages for you from this person and see what they would tell you. So I've got, it's time for me to heal now. So again, this is going with what I said before. This person is now taking the time to look inward, to heal their wounds so that they can come towards you stronger, more confident, but in a healthy way, because they want to come correct. They want for things to work out this time around because they don't want to repeat the same old cycles. And they're recognizing that in order to do that, they need to heal first. I wish things could be different. So again, this is talking about the regret from the past. They regret how they treated you before, not making the choice, treating you like an option. And there's regret with that. I am afraid to contact you. So again, this is what I was saying, where this person is worried that you might reject them. You might be too cold, that maybe you don't care about them anymore. But ultimately what I saw was they will take the action because they realize that there's only one way to find out. Yes, you might be too cold, And yes, you might not want to deal with them anymore, and it might be very well justified. If they treated you badly, then it's up to you whether you choose to deal with that again or not, whether they have really changed. But this person wants to contact you. I think they just have to get the courage to actually take that step once they've healed. You are my total world. So again, this tells you whatever other options they might have had or pretended to have just to feel, better in your eyes, or how they wanted to come across. You were always the one. You're the only one that they want. I always knew there was something different about you. Yeah, see, so this is again, any other options that they might have had, any other people that might have dealt with, if they chose to entertain someone else, they realized none of these people have that something that you do have. I mean, there is something about Pisces. We're very nurturing, loving, caring. We give a lot if we care about someone. I'm a Pisces as well, so I know a lot about that. And it makes it very hard to forget us once someone gets to experience that. But also, if they screw up and we're done, then it hurts them that much more because they feel the loss of a Pisces. I'm starting to understand our connection. So again, this is talking about that strong bond that they feel with you, where they might realize, this might be my soulmate, if that's something you or them believe in, where they're realizing after all this time, I haven't been able to move on from Pisces and I still think about them, I still want them. So this is where they're understanding, they're starting to realize that it really is something special. So that's beautiful. Now let's see. We're going to have a look at a mirror. We can see, what does a mirror say? So if you're single, what's coming in for Pisces in the month of May? Okay, you're going to have a lot of good times in the bedroom. So again, this might be an air sign that you're dealing with. And it's someone that you already know. Yeah, so again, I'm guessing all this reading is just going to be mainly focused on love. What I'm seeing is there's a lot of chemistry that you feel with someone. It's someone who you already know from the past. So whether you were actually together before or not, whether things got to that point, or if it was just, something that you thought about and you just felt the potential, it never got there. There's a lot of chemistry, and this is what makes it so hard to ignore, because even if you, maybe don't want to really deal with them and feel the things, it's just hard to ignore the passion that you have for each other. So there might be, if you do reconnect, you might spend a lot of time. Let's just say you won't leave the house very much, at least for the first few days, weeks, months, while you're going to enjoy getting to know each other up close and personal. Again, it could be an air sign. If it isn't, it could just be someone who's in a leadership position. If it's someone you know from work, it could be your boss. But what I'm getting is just someone who's in a position that's a bit higher. They could have a lot of responsibility. They could have their own business, or, be self-employed. It could also be someone who isn't the most emotional type of person. They could just come across as quite detached and very serious. at first impression, but when you get to know them more, or with you, when they feel connected with you, is when they can open up more and be a bit more they will warm up to you slowly. Basically, they will take their time. They're not the type to wear their heart on their sleeve, which is why they might come across as a bit more kind of aloof and not, like they don't care, but they will show you that they care about you. They could have a family, they could have children, or, they were previously connected with someone, so they might have children from previous relationship. Or you just feel that kind of soul connection, like there's something from, if you believe in past lives, something like when you're with them, you feel like you've already known them. This could be a dark-haired person, or you could be. And what this is telling me is this person is very focused on you. The kind of look that she gives, the kind of side eye, this is how they'll always have one eye on you, regardless of what they're doing. If they're working, they'll always be thinking about you. So you're very much the center of their attention, whether they tell you straight up or not. You might sense that, but just know that they always have you on their mind. And they could be a blonde, or you could be blonde. If you're a man, you could be dealing with a blonde female. And what I'm getting is the connection between you is very kind of relaxed. You make each other feel relaxed and calm. There's no tension. There's no drama. If it's someone that you might have had drama with before, now that you're both, different, because all experiences, they kind of change you a little bit, especially if this person has done the inner work and worked on their healing. You might get this kind of that whenever you connect with one another, you give each other peace. That's what I'm seeing. So that's beautiful. Now, let's have a look at your career and finances to close this off with. So what can Pisces expect in their career and finances? What can Pisces expect in their career and finances in the month of May? So there might be some new project that you might have started, something that you've been passionate about. It could be a side hustle or a hobby that you're starting, but there's going to be something that you're not expecting. Something that maybe you weren't planning to turn into a side hustle. It might have started as just something that you enjoy doing, but with the Tower, what I'm seeing is something just blows up overnight. It's just so quick and so unexpected. It happens so suddenly. And that's great because, you're putting your work, your effort into it, and you're seeing the seeds that you sow, and you see them already bring fruits, which is, it just motivates you to throw yourself into it even more. Now, be careful of making some hasty decisions, or, doing something that maybe is too impulsive. Okay. You might be called to move, to travel. So what I'm seeing is, as much as you see fast progress, let's say, things are happening faster than you expected, don't get comfortable with that. Don't try to take shortcuts. Work on it. Prioritize consistency, that slow progress over over just quick jump, because, you know, if it goes up quickly, it could go down just as quick. So, you know, be careful not to make any impulsive decisions, is what I'm getting. And again, there might be a potential, an opportunity where you might, you know, get an offer where that will involve a movement. It could be a movement overseas, abroad. If that's something that you wanted to do, you know, maybe move to a different country, then this is your confirmation that you will get that. Just make sure that you evaluate everything, you know, that you review everything, make sure it's legit as well. You know, just be careful it's not some kind of scam when it comes to what I'm looking at is the passport. And that makes me think sometimes, unfortunately, there are scams where people, you know, pretend to be someone they're not, and they offer you a position and they need your passport details. Be careful so you don't give your passport details or any kind of important personal details to someone you don't really know. You know, always make sure that there's a contract, paperwork, and that, you know, the company or whoever you're dealing with is legitimate. Do your background checks so that you don't end up losing money and or getting stranded somewhere. You know, just be mindful of that. What Kipper says. Messages about career and finances for Pisces from Kipper. What can Pisces expect in their career and finances in the month of May? You're stable. You're very stable. Right, so what I'm getting with the house card is if you're someone who works from home or there's some kind of focus on your home, you might be moving, maybe you've been saving up to purchase a new home. That could be something, but what the house gives me is stability. So there is some kind of a stability. So that could mean your childhood home, you know, something that you always looked at as that kind of place you would always come back, that's always there. And you might be getting an inheritance. Hopefully not, but if, you know, someone in the family has passed away, or you might be, you know, or it might not have to do with inheritance, but someone might want to, you know, give you the house. That could be for a few of you. I'm also getting that it could be someone's mother or a female that's, you know, within your family. It doesn't have to necessarily be a mother. It could be grandma, auntie, sister. Could be younger sister if you have a younger sister, or a brother, you know, and they want to share something with you. This might not be necessarily work related, as it's not really a work card, but what I'm seeing is, you know, if you're far away from your family, they might be missing you. They would like you to come visit them at home. You know, they cherish the time spent with you, especially if they don't get much of it, and they would like you to come visit, or you might be planning to come visit them, and you're going to have a great time. Because when you show up, you know, there's always a big celebration. They cook a lot of homemade food, you know, just to kind of welcome you back and all that. So that's great with the journey. I'm getting someone might be traveling home to visit. So could be, like I said, family, mother, father, brother, sister, but it is your kind of more immediate family that would like to see you and come visit them. So if you're already planning that, they're really looking forward to spending time with you. If you're not, then that's something that they would like to do. And it might not necessarily be like a far distance, but just, if you haven't been to see your family in a really long time, or what feels like a long time to them, that's relative, but they would like you to come visit. So go visit your mom and dad, okay? So that's what I've got. And last message I'll give you a spirit advice oracle to close this reading off. So what advice would spirit like to give you, Pisces? What advice would spirit like to give you? So what it says is face challenges together, unity, teamwork, resilience. Now, you could apply this for your work, your family, your partner, but what I'm kind of thinking is if you do choose to connect with someone from your past, you've gone through your healing and they've gone through theirs. If you see that and you do decide to give them a chance, you can still heal while you're connecting with one another, and you can face it all together. You can help each other heal as well. So this is what this card is telling me, if there's been arguments, learn that you can work together, because ultimately you don't want to fight one another. You want to work as a team. And again, this could apply for work. If you've been having issues in your workplace with people that you work with, be resilient and find a common ground. You're working towards the same goal. Remember that. And then a second card that came out was honor your unique journey, acceptance, gratitude, growth, and self-love. So this is where, again, whatever you have been through, don't dwell on that. Don't keep rethinking the past and what you could have done differently. Accept it for what it is. Take from these experiences what you could learn, take the lessons from it. I always say that everything bad happens for a good reason. There's nothing you can do to change the past, but what you can do is learn from it, take the lessons and integrate them so that going forward, that you wouldn't put yourself in the same situation. You wouldn't deal with the same people if they show you the same kind of signs, the traits. If someone was a liar or someone was unavailable or treating you like an option, don't sit around waiting for them to choose you. Choose yourself. Self-love, that's what it is. And then on the bottom of the deck, there is release, attachment to outcomes, surrender, trust, letting go, faith. So what I would like to say is, everything that I said, about what a person wants to do, that's the current energies. You can never guarantee that this is the steps, the action that they end up taking, because people often change their mind. People end up talking themselves out of it if they're missing the courage, if they're, if they have low confidence or just low self-esteem. But don't sit around waiting for someone. Release the attachment to outcomes. You focus on yourself. You give yourself that love that you want to receive. Focus on what makes you happy, what makes your heart sing. Focus on what makes you feel good. And ultimately, whatever's meant for you will come to you. Whether it's the person that will get triggered by missing your energy, that might trigger them to come forward. If not, there will be someone else and better. The important thing is you focus on yourself and you give to yourself. Stop over giving to people that don't give you back, and instead pour into your own cup. Okay, so that's what I got for you today, guys. Please like, share, and subscribe. I will be glad if you let me know in the comments if this resonated for you, and I will be with you